just us. While it's just us, TikTok, I appreciate the platform and the opportunity to use your platform to connect with like-minded individuals. It's the prime time edition, man. What's up? What's good, y'all? Peace, light, and love. Brand new one. We got a brand new moment, y'all. I say we got a brand new moment. Ain't nobody seen it, touched it, tasted, smelt it, or heard it before. I heard it's called the present because it's a gift, and each moment of this present is always new. And if that ain't a miracle, I don't know what is. So I like to start my live off with the acknowledgement of the miracle of the moment, the right here, right now, in appreciation for this moment. And in this, with that said, peace, light, and love to everybody that can see me and hear me right now. What's happening? Trigger warning. Trigger warning to the Christians, the Jews, the Muslims, the religious people, the indoctrinated. Trigger warning: if you have not begun the process of deconstructing your belief system, this may not be a safe space for your ears. So we'll give you the time to go about your business. But this is Bible deconstruction, ex-Christian Bible deconstruction. In particular, this is the purpose of this live and for me creating this content. What's happening? What's good with you? You see the title I got on there is Exodus 3:14. I've been scrolling, man. Everybody's saying the same thing. It's a beautiful thing to hear. Who and what we are, coming into the remembrance of who and what we are. That's what we doing, man. So let me get right to it. I got the title Exodus 3:14 because I hear a lot of people, we have spooktified the term God. It have a meaning attached to it to a lot of people's ears, and it's based upon a belief and connotations attached to the word. But despite those beliefs and the passionate feelings attached to the word and the sounds of the consonants and vowels that comprise the word God, it has a definition. Despite how though people may feel about it or think about it or view it in one's mind, the word God has a definition. We must keep this in mind. And as we explore these scriptures, we must understand what it is we're exploring. These are the ancient observations of your ancestors. Before I get into the script, I like to start with what I call revelations. That's what you have at the end of your book. And through revelation, it is revealed that each moment of this existence is a miracle. By the definition, this is something supernatural. See, it's in our nature for any gift that we receive that over time is going to get old. But we exist in what is called the moment, the present. This is a miracle that not only are we witnesses of, we experience. Therefore, we can give testimony. Before we get into the script, I can't remember this goddess's name, but she brought something to remembrance and admonished me in a way. She brought into remembrance the difference between the sacred and the profane. She said that the sacred is inclusive and the profane is exclusive. And it was a beautiful, beautiful way to put this concept. So we'll start with revelation and experiences and testimony. So these ancient observations of our ancestors, one of being which, if you put the... So these ancient observations of our ancestors, one of being which, if you put the knee on the bottom bunk, mic check, make sure we good, y'all. You want to be on the bottom bunk. easy to get to, get up, get out the way, or whatever was happening. Old man come into the cell. My cellar was getting out. So, it's a revolving door in any kind of jail in the city you in. Somebody getting out, somebody coming in. So, old man come in, I'm looking around. I'm raised to respect my elders. So if somebody older than me come into the room, ain't nowhere for them to sit, they get a seat before I do. Just how I was raised. So old man come in, ain't nothing but a top bunk available. I look around, some more youngsters in the cell. I'm like, hey man, y'all ain't gonna let the old man get the bottom bunk? Hell no. So hey man, school, you can get this bunk right here. I get back where I was. Another dude come in the cell, one of the 8 that's in there. He like, hey man, y'all, this dude in the cell now, I don't like this old man. This old man, this, that, and the third. He gonna make the cell hot. Hey man, I'm finna move out of here. Look out, homie, you can get my bunk. He had a bottom bunk. No, this is an observation. I've seen to the needs of the elders in the community, in the village, and my needs was met. And I can witness that it wasn't nothing I necessarily made happen, but I got what I wanted by seeing to, and if this is observed over time, then this become what we call a fact. It's something that you can count on. It's a type of currency. It's a means of exchange in the way that this realm functioned. And our ancestors used to observe the way this realm functioned before recorded history, before the distractions. When all there was us, sun, moon, and stars, your ancestors, our ancestors paid attention to how things function in this realm. Because, sugar and salt look the same till you taste it. We observe different effects of behavior, different ways of thinking. As I'm sitting here telling you, we formed the first concept of family, and we were the first to hold the family unit as sacred. So this makes the family unit a kingdom. We are the first to establish families and kingdoms in this realm. So we're going to get into Exodus 3:14. I'm going to get you out and took you there. But so when she was talking about the difference between the sacred and profane, revelations are sacred. And there are no words that come along with revelation. It's just understanding, a knowing that comes to you. Whether you choose to doubt this knowing does not negate the fact of where the knowing originated from. That at one moment you didn't know it, and the next moment, boom, you did. If you chose to convince yourself otherwise, or the world convinced you otherwise, that's on you. But it's incorruptible. You can't deny yourself. You can say what you want to, but you know what came to you, whether you admit it or not. And this is why the step below the most sacred form of communication, which is revelation, the unseen, is the word. It's a step below the unspoken, because it is corruptible. From the process of the revelation to the translation of it by words, it can be corrupted, misunderstood, misconstrued, misspoke. So this is why we always come with testimony instead of belief, because we speak of what we witness. I saw it happen. I experienced it. And then if it's tested over time, because, we were the scientists, the scientific method is to see if you get the same reaction from water, salt, water, fire, wind. How does it react to these different things? And this is how we determine what it is. It's a scientific method of testing the spirits to see whether or not they come from. And remember, we coming from when there were no distractions. Nothing else to watch. Navigating this realm. This is what we call before time. Exodus 3:14. We looking and we investigating patiently the word God. I'm gonna look in these comments, but we finna go down through there. There's a lot of people out here right now saying the same thing, reminding the people of who you are. So we gonna use the script, and I'm just trying to help you understand that when we go to the script, we go into the lowest form of communication. But to demonstrate to you that the revelations are confirmed in your scripture, we're gonna go there. What is the testimony? You are God. All of the lives and all of what we've been doing and what we're saying is leading up to the final revelation of who you are. So we're going to show you in the script. It came by revelation, but the only one that can give testimony to the revelation is me. So we're going to see if it's confirmed, because you got a lot of people out here telling you the same thing. Hey, man, you God, right? Hey, you God, right? But you got a connotation attached to the word in the way that you see yourself, because we in upside down backwards world, that you can't associate the term with self. And when we get down to it, what we gonna basically come to understand is many of us don't know self. Because when you know self, hey man, everybody giving you testimony. When you know self, hey man, you understand it's nobody else's word that you need to depend on. I'm talking about Peter, Paul, Matthew, Mark, Luke, John, Moses, him, or whoever you want to call it. But we're going to use your book to show you what we saying. We're not using your book because we believe in it. We're using your book to show you that your book is the lowest form of talking about me. Your book is the lowest form of talking about you. They talking about you in the lowest way possible. And what is talking about somebody in the lowest way possible? Lying. Deception. So we gonna get to it, man. We're gonna help you understand. First thing they lied to you is how to pronounce what's called the tetragrammaton. The word tetragrammaton is basically tetra mean 4, gram it mean letters. It's the 4 letters. In English, the 4 letters are YHWH. So your deceivers, your oppressors, your captors, the impersonators, the imposters, the liars, they inserted an A and an E. They added letters to the 4 letters. So it made it 6 letters. Cause that's their language. When it's talking about serpent, it's talking about people that are never honest. We're talking about people that are never honest. So they got this language they use, it's called legalese, or double speak, forked tongue. But they have no problem with lying. It's their language, literally. So they gave you a book. They gave you some names and some spells, some titles, and you believe in it and you call it right. Okay. We not disputing what you call, we understand the premise that you're coming from with it. And we're going to go there. We're going to take our time tonight and investigate what you call right. We're going to look at religion. But first, we need to understand the term God and who and what's being spoken of when we use the term. When we sit here and we tell you that the term God is referring to your ancestors, we're telling you that your oppressors, these liars, their ancestors call our ancestors God. The gods. It was talking about us. And that's why the term God is spoken of as kingdom, because we were the first ones in this realm to establish a such thing as a kingdom. There's no such thing as a kingdom until we established it, and we established our kingdom based on certain principles. And it existed before your oppressors began to record their history or his story. And now is the time of revelation. It's being revealed to you the truth about the kingdom that was established in this realm from the beginning by your ancestors. And if we're talking about kingdom, then we're also talking about inheritance and the lineage and beneficiaries of that kingdom. So let's see who and what this term God is about before we go any further. It must be despooktified in your mind before we can get an understanding of what's written in this book about the observations, from the observations of your ancestors. I want you to marinate, let that sink in, sit with that. Exodus chapter 3:14, it say, God said to Moses. What does Moses mean? Moses mean, I always said, this is for he who is drawn from water. This is about he who is drawn from water. This is about the observation and the experience of he who is drawn from waters. And waters are a multitude. Abraham, father of a multitude, he who is drawn from waters, who's drawn from the multitudes. When you wake up, when you come out of the city and you start your journey into the wilderness. We're going to take our time, that 3-day journey. 3-day journey because we ain't talking about number 7 days, right? So we got 3 on top and 3 at the bottom. 1 day in the middle, that's the 4th day. We're talking about 4 letters. YHWH, they're the 4 letters. Because we're talking about the sun in 4 seasons. We're talking about the way you move, back and forth, up and down. Talking about the light, knowledge, wisdom, and understanding of he who was drawn from water. Because when you establish a kingdom, if you establish the first kingdom, and the family unit is the foundation of the kingdom, by the way, that's the cornerstone, the chief cornerstone. That's why they try to destroy the family unit, by the way. Because you can't get to a kingdom without first establishing the family and recognizing it as sacred and divine. So the first throne is the lap of the mother. But we just gonna talk about your ancient ancestors and what we began to realize when we came, when you come out from under the multitudes, or when the water break and you come up out of the water and the water break, the Red Sea, covered from head to toe and water and blood as you come out when the water break. And you get drawn from the water. He who is drawn from water. God said to Moses, we just said God, right? And what is God? Who is God? What do it mean, the Elohim, the powers? What's the powers, y'all? The mighty ones. What is a definition of power? The ability to define phenomena and make it act in a desired manner, man. That's what powers mean, and it manifests itself through what we call nature. And nature is cyclical, and so is our existence. So we call it a circle. And the circle is the root word for church, and the church is the body in which we experience existence and nature, mother, placed inside of her. And we growing. I am who I am. Hold on, we got to go to verse 13. Moses said to God, suppose I go to the Israelites and say to them, the God of your fathers has sent me to you. And they ask me, what is his name? Then what shall I tell them? God said to Moses, I am who I am. This is what you are to say to the Israelites. I am has sent me to you. I bear witness and testify to the fact that this is true before you right here, right now. And my mother named me Corey, but I call myself I am. And I come as I am. I can't come no other way than as I am. What is in contention is the pronunciation of what's called the four letters, or the tetragrammaton. They add an A and an E to it. By revelation, I'm revealing and sharing with you that's not how it's pronounced. It is pronounced you. YHWH is pronounced you. You. A silent, emphatic you, an exhalation. But sound it out with your mouth if you need to see the evidence of it. You can't hear it because you didn't hear nobody say nothing because you wasn't there when that was written. You didn't experience that, so it's silent. It's just heard in here. You. Like, when you pray, you say, God or source or father, mother, I thank you. I praise you. But it's silent though. But you mean it. It's emphatic. You mean it with your whole heart. But nothing is heard. But you're saying you. Now, we just read in the book, I am that I am. What do you call yourself? You call yourself I am. Yes, you do. You say I'm this and I'm that all the time. You mean to tell me you think that's a coincidence? That I am is pronounced you. I am is pronounced, come forth, manifest as you. So when Moses go back to the Israelites and they ask him, who is this God that sent you? And Moses say, you. It mean I am though. Man, who wandered through the desert? Who fought the wars? Who built the cities? Was it their descendants? Where did their descendants come from? Them. Let us make man in our likeness, in our image. You. And that's what the name mean, but they replaced that. Everywhere that you see I am or YHWH, the 4 letters, they replaced it with the term Lord. They replaced it with the term Lord. So it got replaced here. And a lot of people miss when we talking about God that we talking about you. We're talking about I am. But we must understand the difference between the sacred and the profane. And what we if you can speak it and it has a definition, as it relates to the spiritual, it is profane. Meaning there is something above that term that is not spoken and should not be, because to speak it is to profane it. Is to bring it down, is to make it corruptible. So we have to, the term God has to apply to us, the Most High in this realm. When they speak of authority and dominion being given to man, dominion means absolute authority, supreme authority. That's what dominion means. It's given to man. It make you the Most High in this realm. And the word God applies to the Most High that we relate to, know of, experience. And that's as I am. That's you. That's us. Let us. So it's us that do the creating. And then we got the enemy that do the imitating. He's the shadow. He's upside down with everything. We got the truth. He got the lies. We got the real. He got the phony. That's just how he moves. And we giving it to you plain as possible. We break it down Exodus 3:14, because we got a lot of people jumping up and down on this internet about a name and a term that a lot of people is bent out of shape about and behind, but have no understanding of the term. And if we despotify, we can come out of the spell. If we can differentiate the sacred from the profane, we can come out of the spell. That's why you're giving signs. Because signs manifest through the sacred, through revelation. But the spell, you got to get the spell from the lowest of the low. When we're talking about sacred and profane, the script is the lowest of the low. It's the most corruptible form of communication. Bottom line. And so if the script is what you are dependent upon for your basis of reality or understanding, then you are upside down. You are backwards. Revelation comes first, and revelation is confirmed through reality. That's why we can give testimony to the miracle of the moment, and each one of it being new. We can testify each moment of this existence. I don't know what's going to happen in the next moment. I know what I expect to happen. I know what I think is going to happen. But each moment of this existence is always new to me when I stop and look. And that's awesome to me. But let's not get off the topic. So, okay, what's going on? You under a spell, man. I don't know how to make it no more plain than to say people been put under a spell by way of what we call religion, by way of this book. And it's a lot of people that want to understand what's in it and need to so they can come out of it. This is the purpose of doing this. Bringing this information and giving you, sharing with you the revelation. Hey man, the 4 letters is pronounced you. And this by way of revelation. I'm not adding nothing to it. It's a silent you. It's a knowing you. It's a you that you say and know and hear in the temple. That's why I mean I am. This is the foundation for the understanding of the term God. There's nothing spooky. It's nothing out there in the sky, out of space, up there. That term has been profaned and drugged through the mud because we've been profaned and drugged through the mud. And we are who it applies to. We are the rightful inheritors of that title in this realm. But this the shadow realm, this the upside down, backwards realm. So that's why we are so hated. His name should be Snuffy. Hey man, whatever they want to attach and call it, I don't put a name on it. I am is enough. Mama and daddy is how I relate to it. Mother and father is how I relate to this experience, how I got here. Anyway, I got here by way of a father and a mother. I don't know about nothing else. I heard somebody say something about monkeys. Some say they was made from the dirt. The dust was formed from. Hey man, I came by mama and dad. I don't know about none of that. I can't give you testimony about none of that, man. I seen my son come out of my mom. We didn't form no dust out of no ground. That ain't where we came from. I don't know nothing about none of that. What if your parents are aliens testing who control hellboys around you? They could be. I mean, hey man, I can't sit here and say that ain't the case because this shit seem unreal sometimes, don't it? It just seems scripted. Excuse the pun sometimes, don't it? Yeah, I just sit back and check it out, man, because, you know, they monitor and you being looked at, so we try to keep it as entertaining as possible, but at the same time informative. But this for the people that really need to hear and understand, hey, man, just because you go to falling out and pooting and farting behind the term God don't mean it mean what you feel like it mean. You know what I'm saying? And if people could get that, you know what I'm saying, we could probably have a more beneficial conversation about this stuff. But the term God is so triggering to our people to the point where, man, they when you tell them, hey man, you God, they like, oh man, you blaspheming, you gonna get in trouble. You know, you gonna go to hell. You can't say that. You ain't God. And it's sad, really. It's really sad to hear how people apply the term God to a stranger, some they've never met, never known, never seen, can't get no testimony to. You can apply the term God to a ghost, a Holy Ghost, but you can't apply it to you. You can call yourself a child of God, but you yet still can't apply the term to yourself. But you can apply it to strangers, though, to characters that you never met. It's beyond me. It's beyond me, man. Man. Yeah, it was a young dude on here, man. I'm talking about he arguing with his whole heart and all his might about Jesus being God. And the dude was trying to tell him, man, everything Jesus was saying about himself, you can say about you. God being in you, God being your father before Abraham was, I am. Man, you know the real you is your soul, right? And your soul was born of a virgin, wisdom. Mm, mm, mm. So it was set up, you say, when you repent, right? In the eyes of the Most High, according to your book, it's like you ain't never sinned before. Ever. You got a clean slate. You ain't never done no wrong. Ever. Unblemished, spotless. You know, when you present yourself spotless and without blemish. Because when you repent in the eyes of the Most High, this is grace applied. You don't, you perfect. You ain't never done no wrong. That's in your book. I ain't just me saying it. Yeah, they be pulling and farting, man. They get to, you say God, just go to telling you God, hey, who your God is? And you say, I am. Oh, you blaspheming, you going, I call it pulling and farting, man, because that's just disrespectful, what you saying about me. Very disrespectful. I mean, let's look at it. Let's look at it, man. Let's look at it, y'all. Ain't that many of us in here, man? We just kicking it, man. We just kicking. Say, man. I'm 42, man. They told my mama and your mama and my grandmama and your grandmama and your great grandmama and her great grandma that this was God. But you mad at me for me telling you God. Mm, mm, mm. And my people will believe this is God. When they think of God, they picture this in their mind before they look in the mirror, before they look in here. I'm talking about with a straight face. Listen to me, y'all, with their whole heart and all they might. They had these images hung up in every church in your neighborhood, man. They had these images hung up in every church in your neighborhood, man. Tell me when I start lying. Slave masters always needed overseers. That's why they in the pulpit, overseeing the master slaves. Cause everybody in your neighborhood where all the churches at gotta have a job, gotta go to work. Master let you have the weekend off. Tell me when I start lying. So you say we crazy when we say we need to come together and create our own. We can do better than feeding this to our people and our children. That we can create our own and sustain ourselves to the point where we won't need their money. We can play with it if we wanted to. We damn sure won't need it. We need you, remember? That's how you pronounce it. You. Don't add nothing to it. Why you adding the A and the E to it? Don't add nothing to it. Don't even add no sound to it. Keep it a silent you. Like it say. It hit different. I'm just giving it to you plain. Thankful that I got the opportunity to share it with you just like this. It's pronounced you, and it mean I am. And it's in Exodus chapter 3, verse 13 and 14. If you depend on script, the lowest form of communication, to confirm the sacred for you, which also confirms that you in upside down backwards realm, a shadow, you in the dark, cause you do stuff backwards. We all did. The whole world was deceived. So at any time you was in or part of the world, then you was deceived. Now you got money on your mind, don't you? Say you're gonna put his mark on your forehead, now you got money on your mind, don't you? Oh, it's deep. It's not supposed to be a lot. It ain't never supposed to be a lot, man. It's always was just a few that was observant and watched the signs, observed the signs, paid attention to them, tested them, made sure that that was really real. What I was seeing, what I was observing was really what I could stand on. Okay, then we can give the report. But we understand once we get a report, it becomes corruptible. This is just the truth. I don't. Hey man, I don't have no doctrine. Some people prefer, like I say, because this is upside. I'm not saying it to be controversial or be flippant. This is upside down, backwards world. That's why we have to come out of it. But long as we in it, just know that everything is opposite, inverted. That's how stuff goes here. It's in your face, ain't it? You witness injustice every day, right? What is injustice? The absence of justice. What is Satan? The absence of God. What is evil? The absence of good. What is darkness? The absence of light. What is confusion? The absence of understanding. This the world. That's what the world is. That's why it said you are the light of the world, but you know, the light is above. But if you in upside down backwards, they put the light below. Light is knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. Those that have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, you know, they put us in the dirt or in prison or at the bottom. Unless you got money on your mind. Unless you got the mark of the beast. It's always been in our face. Understand that what the enemy created was a corpse operating, a corporation, a legal fiction. Got some contracts, covenants with terms and conditions that come with these contracts, these covenants. Blood oaths, they are sealed in blood. And you may have entered into one unknowingly. And now it is being revealed to you that your baptism in that institution was the sealing of you in a contract with Satan, who you call the Lord. That's what's going on. This is the revelation. That's why we had to establish the term God before we started. Mic check, making sure everybody hear what I'm saying, everybody that's in here. This is the conversation we having. If you can contribute to that conversation constructively, informatively, you're welcome to come up. If not, just continue to listen, kick back, and we'll just go down through there a little bit more. Because this is upside down backwards world, today is called Frigga's Day, in veneration or in homage to the goddess Freya or Frigga, Odin's wife. That was Wednesday. Because you're dealing with a 7-headed beast. These are revelations, by the way. Nobody taught me this. Once I began to come into knowledge and awareness and understanding of self, the light was on. Light make you able to see. It reveals things for what it is. See, even in the Quran, it say the glory of Allah manifested itself on the mountain and it became a pile of dust. Because a mountain is, in essence, a pile of dust. And knowledge, wisdom, and understanding make you see things for what they are. Anything you look at, including the script. So we began to investigate the script and understand the meaning of what's going on when it said a beast. This unnatural system. Lies, based on lies, based on lies, based on lies. This unnatural system based on lies in this realm manifests as a beast. It's not natural, and it's going to manifest beastly. It's going to do beastly things. This system is going to devour souls, tread upon the earth with 7 heads. Don't you got a 7-day week? Tell me when I start lying. Who gave it to you? Did you get it by way of a system? A government? Not of your ancestors? I know you hear me. How did you get this 7-day week? Who gave it to you? We got it from the creation narrative. It said it was 7 days. This is creation 7 days before we got. Well, let's look at it. Gonna pull out the books. We're gonna look at this, because one is natural, one is unnatural. You heard the number 7 and you started pooting and farting. Yes, you did. Yeah, you did. You went to falling all out because you heard your favorite lucky number 7. What do 7 mean, class? Have a meaning, not an amount. See, we talking about sacred and profane. completion have a meaning. 7 is symbolic of completion, which has a meaning, not an amount. Because amount is what you can see. Once you can see it, it's below the level of the unseen. We're talking about the sacred and the profane. What's real and what's not. The unseen and what is seen. Which one is above? Which? Is the unseen above what is seen? Then that make the unseen above and what is seen below. So when we looking at the symbol, what it mean is different from what it look like. And what it mean is above what it look like or sound. We gonna figure out what a day is, cause we got people that's kind of slow, and they pastor or they preacher or they teacher may not have taught them what a day is. So, before we get to what Paul said, Matthew, Mark, Luke said, we're just gonna start at the beginning. Just gonna start at the beginning. See, we can figure out what a day is for the people. What it look like? Genesis chapter 1, we're gonna look at start at verse 3. God said, let there be light, and there was light, and the light was good. That's what's up. And there was light. God said, let there be light, and there was light. And God saw the light that it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness. And God called the light day. And the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. All praise be to the Most High. What you call a day got to do with what you can see. Because you used to looking at and experiencing this thing backwards. An upside down backwards world. So a day for you is based on what you can see. But according to your book, the light is called day. And this light existed before there was a such thing as what you can see. The material realm itself does not yet exist according to what you can see. Understand what I'm saying? We're talking about your development. Where you develop it? In the womb, in what? Darkness. Well, who creation are we talking about then? You think we talking about somebody else's creation? Hey man, if you ain't, one thing we saying on the journey of self is you're gonna just start being able to recognize yourself when you see yourself everywhere you see yourself. So what's called day, it don't have nothing to do with no sun, moon, or stars or constellation, because according to your book, none of these things exist. So what is the day measured in? Because what we call time is measured according to the sun and the moon and the constellations. They don't yet exist. So that means what we call time does not yet exist. I started this live. I said we talking about the observations of your ancient ancestors before recorded history, or what you know of as time. You know, history. Before the creation of the one you can see, there was the one that you couldn't see. Only experience this light. Because if we already got light, why we need to put a sun in the sky, y'all? Who the sun for? Well, what's made after the sun? Animals. Beings that ain't aware of themselves. It's for them to govern the animals. But we ain't gonna take you too fast. We just trying to help you understand what a day is first, so we can understand how it's measured. Because we not measuring it in what you call time. We measuring it in cycles, you know, revolutions, completions. Once it's complete, it's a day. The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, once it's complete, it's a day. This don't have nothing to do with time, but it does have to do with ages. Walk with me, y'all. I'm in my grandfather's room. I'm wearing my grandfather's hat, carrying on my grandfather's tradition. It's left through DNA. It's unlocked through DNA. Just might check and making sure we understand we all on the same page. So now that we understand what a day is, now when we investigate what this fake, phony, false 7 is an imitation, because it's a symbol of what? Completion. Evening in the morning is the first day. Knowledge, wisdom, and understanding complete. Evening, the woman, and the morning, the son, who represent the father. We building the family unit. We creating you. The knowledge, wisdom, and understanding got to reach completion, though, before we can even begin the process, because the next step is what? The development of the mind, the firmament. There is a difference between what is seen and what's understood. And things around you are based on symbols of ancient observations or understandings of your ancestors. What you see around you is based on the understanding passed down to you from your ancestors. The term God and kingdom included. This is your inheritance. Is anybody understanding what I'm saying? For real, man. Is anybody understanding what's being said? Mic check, 1 2 1 2. Any questions in the comments, make sure we all on the same page right now, man, as we look at Exodus and understanding that the 4 letters, what is called the tetragrammaton. Why is it 4 letters? Because we talking about the 4th day of creation. And the sun going through its 4 seasons. Because the 4th day of creation is the day that the lights were placed into the firmament and the stars were made. What you can see, the light that you can see, you became conscious and aware of what you can see. But we're going backwards now. So we're working our way from what you can see to what you can't see. Working backwards. We have to. Because of the indoctrination. Because of the covenant and the blood oath. Oh, y'all understand what's happening, right? When we talk about spells and broadcasts and scripts, shadow, upside down and backwards, do y'all get it? I try to take my time, and whether it seems repetitive to you, the purpose of it is not entertainment. The purpose of it is a warning. The trumpet, the voice of a warning. Hey man, you caught up in something you may not fully understand. They hiding stuff from you. It's been coded. It's turned upside down and backwards. It's a reason why so many of us, so many of your people are out here with the same message at the same time. It's not an accident. It's not a coincidence. All I'm saying is tell me when I start lying. If you've been listening to me while I've been sitting here sharing with you revelation, tell me what I'm lying about. And if not, if you catch and you understand what I'm saying, then why do it seem like it sound crazy when I say, hey, y'all, it's time to come together and do us? What are we waiting on? Who are we waiting on? If we talking about you, right? If that's how you pronounce it, and it mean I am. So when Moses go to the Israelite, what is the Israelite? Since I got to talk to you through the veil. Since I gotta talk to you through the veil, then I talk to you through the veil. I come down to the lowest of the low. I come down to the most profane of the most profane. Even through the lies. Israel means he who struggles with the mighty one. It's a state of being. It's not a geographical location. Remember, the sacred versus the profane. So a state of being you can't see. You experience a state of being. Geographical location you see. So which one is above the other? The one that you can't see, we going from what you can see to what you can't see. And we gotta talk to you with signs and symbols, because that's all we have to talk to you through spells. And symbols of characters. because they hid who you were from you. So when we talking about you, when you is being talked about in front of you, because you don't know who you are, you don't know they talking about you in they books. When they say God, they was talking about you this whole time. And they was making a mockery of it while they sacrifice you. And build a world on top of your kingdom. So Jacob has to be the heel catcher because they built their world on top of his kingdom. They standing on this, so he got to be the heel catcher. He got to turn it back right. He got to flip it back right. Don't they? Didn't he have his knee on his neck in front of the whole world? I said, did he have his knee on his neck in front of the whole world? Did they not start the Trayvon Martin case? They said that nothing about the Trayvon Martin case mattered until the fight started. So it didn't matter that this was a grown man chasing a little boy, stalking a little boy, chasing a little boy, finally catching up to the boy defending himself from a grown man chasing him. The question was he justified in using his pew-pew once the fight started that he provoked? They called his acquittal justice. He kneeled on his neck with all his might, with his hand in his pocket. They built their kingdom. They built their world on top of the king's dome. And they put it in your face every time they get the chance. And people like us, they say we crazy when we ring the alarm and warn you to come out. It's time to go. It's time to go. So the acts, what were the acts? The people start selling all their possessions and goods and coming together and seeing to the needs of each other in their own communities. Why? What was finna happen? What was following? What was finna jump off? Some hard times and some persecutions and some wars. What the book called Armageddon, Revelations. They getting ready. They doing it in your face. You just in fairy tale land because you still don't know who you are. But I love you. And I literally go through hell with you, about you, and for you. But it's about you. That's why it's pronounced you. Because it's so much love. It's so much, I'm talking about thought and goodwill and deliverance and wonderfulness about you and awesomeness about you. Nothing can stop you. You are immortal. You is eternal, always and forever, what is, was, and will be. I am you. Exodus 3, verses 13 and 14. I'm telling you that it's pronounced you. It's not pronounced Yahweh or any other name that added additional letters that they pronounce. It is a silent you because what you can't hear is above what you can hear, because we talking about the difference between the sacred and the profane. The you, the silent you. And if you understand this, this is the beginning. In the evening and the morning is going to be the first day when that knowledge and awareness and understanding becomes complete in you, which may manifest in the form of your descendants and what they build or create thousands of years from now. Who knows? It's still going to be you. Don't you look like your mom and your dad? All right then. Let us make man. This the family, y'all. It's a family. That's what a kingdom is. Your family being held and seen as sacred and divine. And their knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that they pass on to you being lights for you will govern you. So you won't have some outside government set up on your head. You'll be wearing your father's hat. Sitting in your mother's lap, your mother's, the throne, which is the throne. So our power, God, Elohim, come from us uniting, y'all, being like-minded and moving as a unit. That's how our power manifests and is made complete. If we seek to have it in this realm. But you got this seven-headed dragon that you got, right? Today is Frigga's day, Freya's day, in homage of who? Odin's wife, Frigga, Freya. Do you know Odin? Well, why you call it Odin's day? And it's the present day, today. It's the moment, as a matter of fact. So why you call it Freya's day? Who you get that from? So we talking to people. Why would we debate people who don't know what God means, don't know what a day is, don't know which way up is? It's fun sometimes and entertaining to debate with the religious people, but we are in a labor of love, y'all. It's a battle for the hearts and minds of our people. We gotta love them. While we resist this system and we fight to come together and bring ourselves together, when we have an opportunity or a platform, we gotta remember it's a labor. I'm talking to me especially. It's a labor of love, because it get frustrating dealing with the indoctrination of our people. It's frustrating watching our people, Trayvon Martin cases and people protesting and hollering and crying. But they protesting, hollering and crying in the name of this guy. Y'all understand what I'm saying? And nothing's changed. Your money is worth less. It has actually gotten worse. In the name of Jesus. Behind what you can see, and you putting what you can see above the unseen in the temple, sitting on your shoulders. You put the book above the temple sitting on your shoulders. So we got to use it to break the spell. remind you, hey man, what's in that book come from you. Somebody is this you I don't know, you don't know who I don't know who this dude is, Saint Ryan. Uh I don't know what you got going on in there. Jeffrey Edwards, you digging it, huh? You got y'all getting it, y'all understanding? That's what's up. That's what's up. It's nothing spooky about this stuff, y'all. Nothing out there crazy about it at all. What's out there crazy is the hatred and the deceit and the greed. That's what's out there crazy. You know? Yeah, if you feel the need to, yeah, please, most definitely. You know what I'm saying? Because we vibing, you hear me? Yeah. For real. You're talking about me, but you'll see the video in heaven one day, I hope, if you're real. Already. I didn't know what he was talking about, but I don't know how this listen. That's why I give a trigger warning before I speak when I create my content as a content creator. And I record that trigger warning so I can't get hit with that type of violation. When they go back and check the footage, they gonna hear me say, hey man, trigger warning to the Christian, Jews, and Muslims, this may not be a safe space for you. Whoop de blam. Even if you missed it, that's how I start my lives for that purpose. Cause if you try to report my live, I'm gonna dispute it, and all they got to do is, yeah, he do give a trigger warning and tell them this ain't the type of content. That's like putting that R rating before you watch the movie. Yeah, it's something like that. So nah, we ain't really doing no tripping with you. If you don't agree, hey, that's cool. It's not about that, man. It's for me to put out and share the revelations to those with those who have an ear to hear it and an eye to see it. And that's all I do. I'm finna get up out of here, man. Say, man, it's 9/11, 33 people up in here. Read the first 33 verses of Genesis. Count the first verse as 0. I said read the first 33 verses of Genesis. Count the first verse as 0. And you'll see where you end up. What's up, peace back together, man? What's happening, man? We got the fam in here. So we talking about coming together based on an understanding of who we are and where we are, and knowing that we better off seeing to each other's needs than we are on the hamster wheel trying to maintain this system for our oppressors. And that it's going to take us uniting to do so. And we come to the conclusion that the best way for us to realize these aspirations is by purchasing us some land as a group. So that's what we about. Getting us some land and developing it so we can have our way on it. Going to the Ojutanji village so we can see our people and how they put it down, because they've been doing it for 30 years and it's the only actual kingdom in the United States. So if we're going to start with learning how to do something, I might as well learn from my people in the kingdom that they created. And guess what? It's based on the ancestors. Just so happen to be. So I'm like, that's a no-brainer. I'm going to go check that out. And then from there, man, see how we can go on and put it down. So that's what we about. That's what we do. This is the purpose of us putting this information out, trying to connect. If I done followed you, if I like your post, it's because I'm seeking to connect with like-minded individuals so that when we say, hey, y'all, we going to go to the Ojutanji village to the festival, it's like a meeting grounds for us to go meet up at the kingdom. Plot and plan and kick it. Appreciate the ancestors. Why not? You gonna go spend money on a cruise to go get on the ship? With You feel me? You gonna go on a vacation on one of your oppressors' resorts, huh? You gonna go ride some of their rides this summer. Alright. I'm trying to get out there, man, and go kick it, man. That's what we trying to do so we can see how to emulate the same thing. Get us some land and start homesteading and developing, having fun, kicking it, trail riding while we do it. You hear me? Hear you mean? Cause we kicks it hard, man. I don't know about you. Once we figured out who we were and what was going on, you understand me? Man, we can't wait to come together and have our way. I don't know what they talking about. They lying to me. We finna come together and eat good, kick it good. Everybody gonna wanna be where we at. What is you saying? Cause that's how we do. What you mean? Just looking at the comments, man. I'm gonna post this one on YouTube. Make this the next one I post. I am be the same. Everything stay like it is. This gonna be the one. Cause sometimes I get in the flow and I just start going. Then it'll come out like I want it to come out. And I think some things came out today that may make it a little bit clearer if people listen to it one more time. One more time. Give it one more listen. And just think about it. It's gonna start with a few of us, right? This is why it's better to plan a family. It's one thing to, your girl got pregnant, you wasn't tripping. It's another thing for y'all to plan the child. Because then the child first exists in y'all mind and in y'all heart. And that thought gets to develop fully in y'all's mind. And then may manifest, before you come together, because when you repent and turn away from all evil, revolve or revolution, a full revolution, because we measure in completion. Cycles, not numbers, time or distance. Growth, degrees. So once that thought fully developed in the mind, that child, and we done repented, we done fully revolved, we done came full circle, the light of the world a day. Man, we gonna create, what we create is gonna be a Messiah, a light to the world, something that is gonna be like a sun. The way he gonna be or she gonna be lit up. Cause they came from heaven. They came from the king's dome. Make straight the way, the path of the Most High. Cause the son is the father, representing the father. The father put himself in the mother. Y'all thought about this first. This is a special one that's coming into the world. From heaven. And once the mama repented and daddy repented, they ain't never sinned before. They spotless and without blemish. The wedding supper. The virgin, because, she was a whore, but once she revolved, once she turned around, she was without sin. This is grace. This is the light shined up on her because, when you repent, you turn back to the light. It's not the light that come back to you. It's you that come back to the light when you repent. And then you without spot or without blemish because you repented. So you without spot or without blemish because of grace, not because of a miracle. when it's on YouTube, you're gonna catch it. You might not have caught it yet, but when it's on YouTube, you might catch it then. Because you can pause it and rewind it. Appreciate everybody that's in here listening, man. All praise be to the Most High, family. The kingdom is returning, ain't it? It's happening it's happening, ain't it? It feel good to see everybody waking up and knowing and remembering who we are and what we are. It's a wonderful feeling. It's a great time to be here and experience this. It is. To be reminded, man, wherever you are, whatever you experiencing right now, you're not alone, and you actually chose to be here, and you really wanted to be behind enemy lines, like you wanted to be in the heart, in the midst of the fight, in the belly of the beast. That's where you wanted to show up at right now. So that's why it is what it is with you. So we love you, we know you, we see you. Be strong, stay strong. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, it's all right. We know. This is the reason for it. This is the reason why. These are the revelations. We waking up. This is what they've been hiding for so long. This is what they were so afraid of you finding out. Because they think you're going to do to them what they did to you. I'm about to get up off of here, y'all. Gonna kick back and marinate. I appreciate everybody that took the time to kick it with me. You know what I'm saying? And soak it up, chop it up with me. Yeah, we'll post this one on the tube. It's my name, Corey Chappelle. You'll see the picture if you want to go check some stuff out. I got some other videos.